Hi friends! I thought for my next video I might present my collection and collecting goals for 2026. I've written up goals for myself for a couple of years now, but just in text format, and I thought a video might be fun. I enjoy coming back to my goals at the end of the year to see how things worked out. Of course, I wrote up my goals in January, and it is definitely not January anymore. As of this recording, it is August 23rd, 2026, so some of my goals are well underway. So in this video, I will present my goals as I wrote them in January, with what I knew about releases and such in January. I may occasionally add some current August commentary, but I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum. So to start off, my first few goals are more collecting habits than actual collection goals. These are goals that are relatively easy to accomplish, but I always include them in my yearly list because they are things that I want to accomplish for my collection, so I do focus my time and attention on them. First up, I plan to purchase models from established annual series that I really enjoy. There's the Wild Animal series, which will be coming up soon. And August me will interject here to say that we got to see a preview of this model in the Collector Club tent at Breyerfest, and I love it. Then there's the Halloween models, of course. We saw a few of these in the Collector Club tent as well. The holiday decorators, which usually include a traditional, a classic, and some stablemates blind bags. And the Holiday Surprise Gambler's Choice, which used to be called Christmas Day Surprise. I look forward to all of these releases every year, and chances are good that I will add most of them to my collection. But that's the caveat that I always have for my collection. If it's a design or color or mold that I don't enjoy, then I won't buy it. Plain and simple. I love these series, I love these decorators, but I'm not a completist about any of them. Case in point, on January 2nd, Breyer revealed several models for 2026, one of which was the Halloween model, Fuego. And I'll be honest, I'm on the fence about this one. The color is nice and the dragons are very cool, but it doesn't really say Halloween to me. So we'll see. Next up are additional decorators that suit my collection, which Breyer might release in a given year, namely a rainbow model, a patriotic model, or an autumn-themed model. These aren't formal series per se, but they are decorators Breyer has done before and might do again. Amongst the January 2nd reveals were two sets for the semi-quincentennial, the 250th. The first was Betsy and Ross, a clearware pair with a circle of stars on the blue mare and some flag-like stripes on the red foal. And the second was a set of three stablemates called the Pursuit of Happiness set. Speaking as January me, I'm more inclined to acquire the stablemates than the mare and foal set, but again, we'll see. Next up are my congas. This is another one of those things that's more a collecting habit than a goal, because of course I'm going to try to maintain my congas. But again, it goes on the list because it's something I invest time and energy and intention into. As I mentioned in my collection guide video, I have these 8 congas. So any new obtainable models that are released are going to be must-haves for me. And in this context, I define obtainable models as those that I can purchase myself relatively easily, or that I can find on the secondary market with a little patience and a little effort. If a model is rare, and therefore less obtainable, then it goes on my wish list, my ISO list, for the future. As an example, the Glossy Bay Big Ben in the foreground here, that's Maple. He was released last year, so he definitely went on the list for my conga. But he's a rare centerpiece model with only 25 made, so I did not consider him obtainable. I wanted him, but for me personally, he didn't apply to this goal last year. As a side note, I was happily able to add him to the collection eventually. The January 2nd reveals included a new Horatio that I will need to tack down. And August Me knows there's a new Dundee out for mid-year that I will also need. And I also have my color congas. I've mentioned silver filigree before, but I don't think I've mentioned the others. They're smaller collections and less common as releases, but they're all decorator colors I really like. There's the color that Breyer calls electric blue filigree, like Veil on the Totalist mold a few years ago. I also like the red clearware Tortuga color. I think they've only used that 3 times so far, and I would love to see it again. There have been 2 Valentine's Day models in the Decorator Red Roan, but this is another color I would love to see again. And lastly, for Stablemates unicorns, there's a particular combination of deep indigo blue with gold horns and hooves, the first of which was a mini Alborozo chase piece, and I am a sucker for that blue. So any new models in these colors are must-haves for me. Silver filigree is the most popular and the most likely to be released in a given year. Now we move on to things that are more actual ongoing goals. The first is to complete my collection of menagerie chips. Last year in 2025, Stone Horses did a monthly menagerie series. Each month they featured a different region or theme, and they produced a collection of models based on animals from that region or within that theme. I loved this series. I love a horse painted to look like another animal, so this entire series was catnip for me. But of course, this is Stone Horses, so there were multiple releases per month in multiple scales, all in very limited quantities or straight up one of a kinds. And it simply wasn't possible or affordable for me to own them all. And nor would I want to, really, because several of them just weren't my cup of tea. For the January theme, I really wanted one of the chips, the bearded vulture, and in February, I really wanted the red panda chip. I was unsuccessful in getting either of them, but that's when I formed the idea of collecting one chip scale model from each month for my own menagerie collection. Over the course of last year, I managed to get 6 of them, which are checked off in blue. That's March, June, July, September, November, and December. And no, they're not all draft horses like the 3 pictured here. So, 6 down, 6 more to go. Up next is my ISO list, my in search of models. My goal is to add one of these models to my collection this year. These are all models I've been looking for a long time, some of them for a decade or more. Most of them are a long shot, as they are very rare and very desirable, but you never know when the stars might align. I have been very fortunate in the past, and hope springs eternal. And on the flip side of the coin, I'd really like to get my sales list down to nothing. I never have very many sales models. What I buy, I tend to keep. But these 2 have been around for a while now, and I'd like to see them move on to homes that would appreciate them better. And August Me will interject here and say that since January, I have added a few models to my sales list. So this goal is going in the wrong direction. Oops. And then there's Breyerfest. It's always my goal to attend Breyerfest every year. And it may seem a little weird to have this as a goal rather than as a given, but I try not to take these things for granted. Now, I've already released my haul video, so clearly I did attend Breyerfest this year. But due to my other hobby, my music hobby, I had to leave Kentucky early Saturday morning. I had a Saturday evening concert and a Sunday afternoon concert, so I had to be back in Michigan, just no way around it. So this year, Friday was my only day in the horse park. It was stressful, but it worked out, and thankfully, my performance schedule shouldn't conflict with Briarfest every year. But yeah, I don't take it for granted. And when I go to Briarfest, there are a few things I like to accomplish every year. I like getting certain souvenirs. I like spending time watching the demos in the covered arena and visiting the guest horses and petting them if it's allowed. I enjoy wandering the halls of the Clarion and shopping through the rooms. I like the Stone Horse's Art of the Horse Awards dinner. And every year, I like to see if I can try something new. Up next is live showing. I started showing 4 years ago in 2022, and I don't go to very many shows for various reasons. My goal this year is to attend at least 2 shows and hopefully, maybe, win an overall prize. I think 2 shows is very doable for a year for me, but the overall prize is less certain. I've done it twice before, and I think I'm getting better at entering my models to their best advantage, but it all depends on the judge and what else is on the table. Somewhat related to showing is the storage pouch project I'm working on with my mom. Together, we are designing and sewing fleece pouches for my models for storage and for travel. My mom is an excellent seamstress and quilter, and she has an enormous fabric stash. So, little by little, we are making pouches with novelty fabrics that match to my seasonal decorator themes. It's slow going because this is not a side business. My mom has her own obligations and projects and hobbies. We've made progress, and that's really the goal, progress. I'm wrangling a lot more bubble wrap than I'd like anytime I unpack and repack my seasonal displays or travel to a show. And, I could fix that by going out and buying a whole pile of pouches that other hobbyists have made. But instead, I'd much rather do this as a project with my mom. I don't have any numbers or percentages attached to this goal. Any forward progress will be good. So, speaking of model storage and bubble wrap, another of my goals is to clean out my basement so my model bins can be stored better. My seasonal decorators are only on display for 1 or 2 months out of the year, and the rest of the time they're packed away in bins in the basement. The basement itself is fine. They live just fine down there. And I have a pretty good system, but it could be better. And that means getting rid of some of the crap in the basement, which, let's be real, that's sort of an evergreen project. I made good headway last year thanks to a garage sale we did, but there's more work to do. And of course, I want to keep making more videos. The only conga tour that I've done so far is Big Ben, so I want to do the rest of my congas, plus possibly a tour around the house to see the models that I keep on display full time. Since these goals are belated, the Briarfest haul is already done, and I think I might try an unboxing at some point, maybe. And of course, I'm open to suggestions. If there are videos you'd like to see, please drop them in the comments below. Okay, friends, almost done. 2 more goals on my list. I would really like to attend a Collector Club exclusive event in person. I was selected for Seattle Soiree in 2020, and that was very exciting. My spouse and I planned an entire vacation around it. But, of course, that became a virtual event. And, kudos to Briar for what they were able to do for us at the time, but it was still a disappointment. I was also selected for the virtual True Blue event the following year, but I haven't been selected since. I would dearly love to go to one of these events in person and experience it for myself. The most recent event was Hoofbeats and Maple Treats in November 2025 in Toronto, which is, this is where the bag came from. A friend of mine kindly got it for me. So for these events, they've been roughly every 18 months, which means the next event isn't likely to be until spring 2027. So this is an ongoing goal. And another ongoing goal is I would like to win a model from the Briarfest live auction. The live auction is a Briarfest tradition, and the models are just gorgeous. I've attended the live auction a few times, and it's always very exciting. I like the idea of participating in that excitement and winning one of these gorgeous models right then and there to add to my collection. And that's a wrap on my collection goals for 2026. Some of them are achievable, some of them will take some work, and some of them will take some luck. And some of these goals will be ongoing for a while. Sometime in early January, I will come back to these goals and see how 2026 went and also establish goals for next year. I will check back with you then. Thanks, friends.